Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a massive transfer roundup video in line, and we have our opening league game of the season against Basingstoke Town. As you can see from this table on your left-hand side, season preview indicates that we're looking at a ninth place finish. That's the kind of area that they expect us to finish. So if we can live up to that, we'll get a decent run of form. I think playoffs are very realistic for this season, especially considering the kind of players that we've managed to bring in. In terms of Basingstoke, the team that we're going up against today, they're down in 22nd in the pre-season thought processing. Looking at a 22nd place finish out of the 24 teams, one of the favourites certainly for relegation. In terms of transfers, it's been a very, very busy one, like I say. We'll just have a look at the outgoings first, and then we'll go through the first team squad. We have released a few players. Um, we we could have kept hold of some of them, but at the same time, it was a bit of a difficult situation with one or two of them, and unfortunately, we couldn't keep a hold of them. So Lloyd James, unfortunately, left um, on a free transfer, and he's actually joined as an under-18s manager at Dulwich Hamlet. So he has officially retired now. Lee Lucas, he's at Total Network Solutions. He must have signed for them on a free transfer after being released from us. So again, he's another one who left the club. Jay Fulston has gone to Havant and Waterlooville, who are in the same league as us, I believe. So he wanted to go to a stronger team with stronger players, and we finished above Havant and Waterlooville last season, if I remember rightly. So a bit of a strange one, but he wasn't going to sign a new contract with us. Zach Smith is still actually a free agent. He was good enough to be a part of the first team, but at the same time, he didn't have decent enough technical quality for that central midfield position, so we decided to let him leave. And Dylan Morgan, who we tried to sell for most of last season, he didn't end up going anywhere. He got released, and the left winger is still a free agent. So in terms of actual transfers for outgoings, Jack Stewart left for Wrexham for £8,000. He got a bit of a nibble at me basically because I wasn't playing him. He was a backup anyway, and he's definitely going to be a backup at Wrexham. But we got £8,000 for him, so it was money in the bank, and I thought that was a decent bit of business. And Jaheim Allen left on a free transfer as well. Again, he's a decent enough youngster, but he wasn't shining a particularly good light when he was playing. Yes, he had a couple of good performances, but other than that, it didn't really work out for him, so he left on a free transfer. And as you can see, there's a pretty big list here of players that have come in, so we'll just go into the squad and then we can run through it by each position. So unfortunately, a pre-season injury for our new goalkeeper, Jaden Bevan. Really good goalkeeping ability, in my opinion. Probably the best goalkeeper here. Kowalczyk had a decent season overall last season, but Bevan is certainly a step up from him. So when he gets back from injury, he will be a first teamer for us at 6'4" as well. Really good, well, decent reflexes, good positioning, and again, all the goalkeeping attributes that we require. Very good technically, but he's a very determined character as well. So I think when it comes to being in goal, he will certainly do well for us. Dory Hollick came through our youth academy last season. He's already a 1-star rated goalkeeper, which to come through a youth academy at this level, I think that is a very, very good achievement. And he's got decent potential as well. So he is going to be in and around the first team squad. He's going to play regularly for our under 18s, but we have got him in as our third choice goalkeeper. Nathan Cameron we brought in as an experienced centre back, 32 years of age, and I think to be quite honest with those mental attributes, his physicals aren't the best, but he's quite a strong player and he's got a good jumping reach as well. And he's 6'2", and again with actually good defensive ability. I really think we've done well to bring him in. He's coming only as a fringe player as well, so again, it's a no-brainer in my opinion to bring him in. Played regularly in the Vanarama North last year for Hereford, played probably about half of their matches. And over the course of time, he's played for a number of different clubs in League One and League Two as well. So he's got good experience at a higher level, and I think that is certainly something that we can make use of. Miles Sona is under a promise at the moment. He was wanted by, I can't remember who it was now actually, but we agreed a fee with him that if anyone paid that fee, he could leave. £14,000 is that fee. No one's come in for him since, so he looks like he'll be staying. Jensen Sumnall came in. All of these were free transfers, by the way. We've spent no money whatsoever apart from on wages. He's an 18-year-old centre-back. And again, decent ability, defensively, good positioning, heading, marking, tackling, the normal defensive attributes. Other mental attributes aren't the best, but his physicals are reasonable. Natural fitness is good and he's got good stamina, but his strength isn't the best either. He's only 5'10", which is always a bit of a risk with a centre back. But again, he's coming as a fringe player, previously of West Brom's Youth Academy. Didn't make a senior appearance, but he did make a lot of non-competitive appearances for them last season, probably in their under-18 side, and he had decent form as well. So hopefully he can come good for us in there. Morgan Dance came in as a left back for us, 19 years of age again. Obviously, all these young players are going to have decent potential for this level. It's a bit of a strange one, this one. We needed the extra cover at left back anyway. 2.5-star current ability. He's got that extra bit of potential as well. A lot of his ratings are around 8 or 9. So if we can get to a point of improving our facilities a little bit, and he manages to improve a number of these into 9s and 10s, all of a sudden it looks like we've got a much better player, and I'm hopeful that that is going to be the case because all of his physicals are in and around that level. Most of his mental attributes are, and so are most of his technicals. So if he can get some decent game time, which I'm hoping he will, then he might be another one that does well. He was on loan last year at Weston-super-Mare, 3 goals and 4 assists for them last season in this league. Previously at Birmingham as well, didn't make any youth appearances for them, but I think he could be a good player for us. We're just going to have to be patient with him. Teddy Howe came in as our backup right back, 25 years of age, and we're paying him a little bit more than the players that we've seen so far. Like I say, he is our backup right back. He's got very good physicals with very good fitness as well. Mental attributes aren't the best. He has had a bit of a decline from training with us recently, but his actual defensive ability isn't too bad. Decent crosser of the ball as well. Played for Weymouth for the last couple of years, fairly regular at this level, and he has made appearances in League Two before when he was on loan at Scunthorpe in the past. Previously of Reading, and so hopefully again he can bring in some decent experience. Brooklyn Iyunga is a left back slash left winger. And again, he's very similar to Morgan Dance. A lot of 8s and 9s for ratings, but he's got extremely good physicals. So I think on that wide left-hand side, he could be extremely useful for us with good teamwork and work rate as well. Hopefully, he can develop into a good player also. Previously of Milton Keynes Dons, and he had made a senior appearance in each of 2 seasons for the senior team. So he has played at that level, but largely he has been in and around the lower leagues. He's played previously in this league with Hemel Hempstead, making 18 appearances for them. Made 13 appearances for Wealdstone in the Panorama National League. Then went on loan to an Icelandic team, scored his first competitive goal in 10 matches, and now he plays for us. So hopefully, again, we can give him plenty of game time. 3.5-star of current ability as well with that extra potential. So, again, another one to keep an eye on. I'm not going to even bother with his name. I can give it a go. Testimony Igbinajin. I think I'm going to call him Mr. T, to be quite honest, just because it's easier. But again, we brought him in as a left back. He's only 18 years of age, got good potential, 2.5-star current in a certain role, of course. But good tackling ability, good first touch, really determined character with a decent amount of pace. Again, there's a few there that are rated 9s and 8s in there. So again, I think he could develop into a good player. Decision making is also very good, which I think is going to be key at that level. Made 13 starts and 16 substitute appearances for Wolves under 18 side last season. So I think, to be quite honest, if he was a regular for their youth team, I think we've got a decent player in there. Hopefully, he can get game time and do well for us. Just scroll down a little bit. We move into the midfield now. Henry Okieng came in, a 25-year-old Kenyan, 120 cap. He's not played for the senior side. He's a largely more of a defensive midfield player. pretty good physicals, really good mentals. Heading, marking, and tackling are quite decent as well. So for that defensive midfield role, I think it'll be ideal. And again, first touch and dribbling, passing, just a little bit short on quality. But around the eights and nines, he could again develop. He's only 20, well, I say only, he's 25, but he has got an extra star of potential ability. So again, if he gets game time, he could develop a few more of those attributes. A good solid option for us in midfield. It was an area that we were quite desperate for, and he was previously, I mean, he's been in and around quite a number of clubs. He's always been playing at the lower levels. He played for Cork in the Irish Premier Division. He's only got a couple of goals to his name in his career. Has played in League Two before, but largely he has been in and around this level. He tends to be a one-season wonder for a lot of clubs, but the looks of it, he's at a different club most years, and we'll see how he gets on. Ronan Hughes, central midfield player once again. Again, 25 years of age. We've got a bit more experience in the central midfield without being too old, so I think that will be useful for us. And again, attribute-wise, excellent mental attributes, a number of 10s out of the 20 ratings altogether. So again, room for development with that extra star potential in there. Again, really good physicals. And technical wise, again, he seems decent. Good corner taker with a good first touch. Crossing and dribbling ability are good. Passing and tackling good as well. So he can play in that defensive midfield role as well as normal central midfield. Another strong option for us. Hazeman and Whitting were here last season. Oh yeah, Ronan Hughes previously was in the Scottish. He's played Scottish Premier League and Scottish Championship, so he's played at a decent level. But over the last couple of seasons, he must have had a big injury when he left Hamilton. He's played in the Lowland Leagues in Scotland. So a bit of a fall from grace for him over the years, but I think we've got a good player in there and hopefully he can do a good job for us. Isaac Bailey has come in as a 18-year-old central midfield player. Again, really good potential on this lad as well. Decent physical attributes, good amount of pace and stamina. Natural fitness is very good as well. Decent mental attributes, composure, decision making. Determination's not the best. I like a player with good determination, as you know. Work rate with vision, really good passing ability, marking and technique as well, with a good first touch and long shot ability. I think he's a really good young player, to be honest. He was at Southampton in the Championship last season, made 17 starts and 14 substitute appearances for their youth team. So overall, I think he's going to be a very good player. And fingers crossed, we can certainly bring out that potential. Colin McBride, Ollie Chamberlain. We didn't really strengthen a lot, actually, in terms of our wingers and up front. We had plenty of players in there already. So McBride, Chamberlain, Hurlock, Chukwuemeka, Marion, and Makuna were all a part of the squad last season. We managed to keep the majority of the attacking players, which was quite useful. But the one that we did bring in was Jemiah Umolu. I'll find a way of saying it, I'm sure. Really good amount of pace with excellent natural fitness, really determined character, good work rate, and a really good finisher, in my opinion. 13 rating already for finishing with 11 for composure. I think he could be a very dangerous player for us at this level. Previously of West Ham United, came through, scored a couple of goals in 7 starts in their youth academy, 24 substitute appearances though. And to be fair, I think they've let him go a bit too soon. He is only 18. I'm not complaining because obviously we managed to bring him in. Um, Apparently he's played at centre back and right midfield. Bit of a strange one, but I think he's going to be a good player, especially at this level. And I think, to be honest, we've built a team that could compete in the National League. It's just a case of whether we're going to be able to keep a hold of all these guys or not. In terms of the development centre, we haven't got anyone in the under 21s, but the under 18 squad came in. Dory Hollick, we've already seen. He was the best player that came through our youth intake. 2.5-star silver rated players came through. They're probably our best. We saw Adrian Wasiak make an appearance last season for the senior side. He played okay, I suppose, for what it's worth. And I can't remember who the other guy was. I think it was Nick. Was it Nick Muller? Or was it Martin Mitchell? Might have been Mitchell. But yeah, we've not got a great deal of quality in the youth intake, unfortunately. Dory Hollick, we have tried to give him a new contract. He rejected it initially, so that obviously when he signs permanently, he will have a proper wage, etc. But again, we'll just see how things go and hope for the best with our youngsters as well. So going into this game against Basingstoke, with the squad that we've got now, I think we should win. In terms of pre-season, we've been very successful. We lost 4-3 against Boreham Wood, who are in the National League, but again, we were very competitive. A number of players that you see in these, we've got to take some of the results with a pinch of salt because some of the players we had on trial didn't sign in the end. But we've had a lot of big wins. Yes, we didn't play anyone worthy of note, but even against Port Vale, we had a really good 4-1 win against Port Vale. So again, we have got the ability a little bit in there. And Marion Hurlock and Tufa Umolu got us the goals in that one. So that was probably the highlight of our pre-season. The rest of them more local and smaller teams. Kieran Wakefield and Joshua Doofus, I really wanted to bring them in. Doofus ended up signing for Middlesbrough, so you can see how much quality he had. And Kieran Wakefield, he ended up signing for Mansfield in League One. So again, you can see how much quality we had. And we could offer them contracts, but we just couldn't afford what they were asking. It was quite unfortunate, but I think we've done well to sign all the players that we have. And we've very much got a very full squad now. So hopefully, going forward, we can play some exciting football. And in terms of the setup for all that pre-season, we've gone back to a 4-3-3, but we've scaled down how the roles work out a little bit. So normal goalkeeper, we've got wing backs in place with normal centre backs, a standard defensive midfielder with two strong central midfield players, inside forwards with the advanced forward as well. So pre-season, like I say, it's worked quite well. I think with the balanced mentality, we have got necessary quality that we could get some good results with this setup, but we are going to have to take chances as well. So we'll see how we get on. We are going to make a bit of a change here. I think Chukwuemeka being on that right-hand side will work a little bit better, and we'll get Umolu in there up front. And I think I'll have Makuna on the bench instead of Chamberlain, who's struggling for fitness anyway. Harris and Roberts are partnering in central defence as well there. So our new signings aren't going to get too much in the way of game time today, I don't think. The ones that haven't been selected, of course. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that we set it up this season. Striking options are a little bit wayward because obviously Chukwuemeka can play out wide, as can Makuna. And it's going to be interesting to see where everyone fits in over the course of the season. But obviously, it'll be highly dependent on how good the players play as well. So rotation is always going to be there. And if people can steal in and play well when they get their chance, so be it. And we're just going to have to roll the dice. And if players get unhappy, we have got enough players in the squad that we can try and offload one or two as well. So it is going to be useful for us. So in terms of the team, we're looking quite strong. A couple of players you might recognise from the start of last season. Austin Booth is in the squad for Basingstoke, as is Joe Guest and David Sims-Burgess. They all left us last season and signed for Basingstoke. Josh Iheanacho you might recognise as well. He signed for me, I think it was on the main road save, if I remember rightly. So a few recognisable names, but going into this, we should do quite well, in my opinion. Hopefully, we can get the job done. I think we've got a really good team together here. Playoffs are a possibility, I think. If we can get top half, that's what the target is, then fantastic. But if we can push on for a little bit more than that, like I say, pre-season, they think we're going to finish in and around 9th place. If we can push on a little bit from that, playoffs are very realistic. Here's Winstanley picking it up into Okieng. Now Roberts. Into Hughes. Good touch by Hurlock. Hurlock, of course, ended up on the fringe of everything last season. And Molu there with an effort well saved by the goalkeeper. Because we ended up not playing with wingers, did we? Didn't we? We ended up with 5 at the back, so our wingers ended up not getting a lot of game time. But we've gone back to a winger system. Hopefully it'll suit some of them. Ronan Hughes looking to chip it in toward Molu, and Macaulay does well to make the claim in goal for Basingstoke. Mr. T plays it into Bailey. Knocks it forward. Hughes just beats Austin Booth to it. It's a good run here by Ron Hughes. That's a nice little pass out wide as well. Winstanley just lofts it in, looking for Herlock. It's cleared away, and Basingstoke look to try and break away. I think they're passing the ball quite well there at the back, and Jackie knocks it back to Rendell. Forward into Clark. Now Hodges. Holding on to the ball quite well here, Basingstoke. It is a bit of a concern, but good interception there by Ronan Hughes. Now Umolu looking to charge forward. I'm going to try and say his name properly because I don't think I can get away with calling him Mr. T throughout a whole series. Umolu there with a big chance, and he puts it over the crossbar, but certainly a bright start from us. Here's Chukwuemeka down this right-hand side. Plays it across. Umolu was there. He's been brought down. No penalty given. Herlock manages to keep it in. Igbinogene. Didn't do too bad, did I, really? Here's Herlock now. Into Bailey. Chukwuemeka, it took a big deflection, but it doesn't matter. He's managed to get his goal. I think he'll suit the inside forward role, to be fair, Chukwuemeka. He's quite a big lad, and he's got a decent amount of strength to him as well. But obviously, we know that he's got pretty decent finishing ability. So I think he's done really well there. And knocked in via a deflection. But a very positive start from us nonetheless. It's been very, very good indeed. And 20 minutes gone, we're looking quite strong. Hopefully we can continue that. And just bear with me a moment. I'm going to have to plug in because my charge is running out a little bit. And there we go. So pretty strong start. I mean, they've had an attempt at goal. It wasn't on target, but XG, we're looking strong. Possession, we're looking extremely strong as well. Really impressed with how the lads have taken to the tactics, especially over pre-season as well. We made a lot of our signings quite early in pre-season as well, and because they were in on trial, they played in that style as well. So it has worked out quite well for us. Hopefully we can continue our performance in the second half. We certainly deserve to win this game so far. Omolu, a little bit disappointed in him so far today. He's missed a couple of opportunities, but hopefully he will get another chance in front of goal. Here's Olafemi looking to swing it in. Kowalczyk, under no pressure at all, makes a very good claim. And a chance for him to deliver forward. Omolu does well to win the header against his defender there. Herlock moving down this left-hand side. Chance to get the cross in here. Swings it in. Chukwuemeka. He really put a lot of power into that. All he had to do was guide it in. But again, another good chance created. We're looking strong. I think, to be fair, it might just not be a Molu's game. We will wait a little bit longer. Winstanley here to Hughes. Winstanley looking to loft it in. Rendell manages to clear to Clark. That's a really good ball over the top from Clark, and we're caught out a little bit here with Rowe moving down this left-hand side. Chance to play it in. There's Wilson. That is a huge chance for Basingstoke. And we get away with that a little bit. We are going to take Omolu off here. We're going to get Makuna on up front. I am trying to train him to be a striker. He's got decent finishing ability. He has struggled a little bit in pre-season for form, but hopefully he can come in and do the job for it. Well, to be fair, we could even put Chukwuemeka up front, couldn't we? And get McBride on out wide. I think that makes a little bit more sense. Got a couple of yellow cards there as well, which is a bit of a concern. And we've got two centre-backs on the bench, but no defensive midfield player. Is there an option with defensive midfield? There isn't really, is there? I think, to be fair, we'll just have to stick, won't we, for now? I wanted to get Sumnall on, really, for a bit of game time, but defensively, we're looking quite strong today, so I don't want to upset the cart too much. And I think there's been I'll tell you what, to be fair, it's only 1-0, but there's been a number of decent performances here. Colin McBride comes on for Umolu. Again, a bit disappointed with his debut, but I mean, at least he was in the right area to have those chances. Ronan Hughes swings it in. It's headed back into the penalty area. Austin Booth picks it up and looks to find Rowe. They've got 4 in this attack, and we've only got a few back. And this is Hodges into Wilson. And Wilson manages to make the run. It's a good strike from Bradley Wilson, and he missed a sitter earlier, of course. And now Basingstoke have an unlikely equaliser. Not the best from us defensively, And there's no excuse for that defensively, really, because we've been a lot better than the opposition. And the defence, largely, was together last season. We are going to get Corey Roberts off and bring Sumnall on at centre-back for his debut. And we'll take Hurlock off for Makuna as well. And we deserve to win this game, but we've just not taken our chances, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. And overall, I'm a little bit disappointed that we've only come away with a draw here, especially considering Basingstoke got promoted last season. Yes, they'll be on a high from that promotion, but that is a game that we should be winning. A little bit concerned, but I think overall we played quite well. I know a number of player ratings dropped after conceding that goal, but overall, I'm happy with the performance, but we've got to be winning those matches. If we want to aim for top half, and I know it's only the first game of the season, but we've got to be winning those football matches. So, not the best start to the season, but at the same time, at least it's not the way that we started last season, which was a 6-0 defeat, of course. Um, we'll probably get through. I'd probably say we'll get through the rest of this month, but 6 games does seem like a lot, doesn't it? Especially considering there's an FA Cup second round there. Um, I think, to be fair, we'll just get a few games done and out of the way. We'll probably come back for Hendon and Chelmsford, and then we can come back for the FA Cup tie and Weymouth. I think it's a little bit condensed, I know, but I think that'll work out a little bit better because I definitely want to bring the FA Cup into more episodes this time round. We didn't have too many last season, did we? So hopefully we can do a bit better this time. So Chippenham, Farnborough and Yeovil will get through. And yeah, Hendon and Chelmsford for the episode tomorrow. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.